everyone, I'm Sophia with Awaken Catholic, and this is Awaken the Saint. Fear can protect us from danger, but it can also keep us from accomplishing what we need to do. Today's saint, Augustine of Canterbury, became known as a great missionary, but he was far from confident when he first set out on his mission. Augustine's year of birth is uncertain, and the details of his early life are lost to history. It's assumed that he grew up in relative comfort in early 6th century Italy and became a monk while still in his youth. He entered the monastery of St. Andrew and eventually ascended to the position of prior. Augustine was probably comfortable in this position, but he wouldn't be comfortable for long. Pope Gregory I, seeing the rising threat of paganism, called for the conversion of the Anglo-Saxons in England. He gathered a large band of monks from St. Andrew's Monastery and rather abruptly assigned Augustine as their leader. The young prior likely never had any intention of leaving Italy during his life, but of course, he wasn't about to defy the will of the Pope. He set out with his companions on their long journey, hopeful that all would be well. Not long after they set foot in France, they started to hear rumors. Nobody had anything good to say about the Anglo-Saxons. Every story further cemented the image of a warlike people who would sooner kill the missionaries than speak with them. Augustine and his friends were struck with uncertainty, and by the time they reached Provence, they considered fleeing back to Italy. Augustine feared for his life too, but he didn't want to give up and convinced them to wait in France. In the meantime, he went back to Rome and consulted Pope Gregory. The Pope could only reassure Augustine that the people of England were ready to convert, and once again sent him on his way. Gathering his courage, Augustine returned to France and rallied the monks. They proceeded to Kent, where, quite contrary to what they originally expected, they were graciously received by King Ethelbert. While the king was pagan, his wife was Christian, which made him more accepting of the missionaries. He told them they were free to convert as many people as they wished. And convert they did. Augustine and his fellows worked eagerly to teach the pagan population, the king included. Ethelbert was impressed by Augustine's gentle manner and selfless attitude, and asked to be instructed in the faith. Within the year, the king converted and was baptized, which paved the way for widespread conversion in the region. In light of this great success, Augustine was given authority as Bishop of England, and on Christmas that year, he baptized over 10,000 people. Augustine took up residence in Canterbury and, with Pope Gregory's guidance, continued overseeing missionary efforts in England. He remained in this position until his death around the year 604. Often the dread of doing something we don't want to do ends up being much worse than the thing itself. Augustine and his fellow monks were terrified by rumors and didn't want to go to England. They didn't realize that the Pope had already prepared the way for them, just as God prepares the way for us. St. Augustine of Canterbury, pray for us.
Awaken the Saint is made in partnership by Spoke Street Media and Awaken Catholic.